I can't believe this is happening. You're going to already want to hit the like button. Yes, that's right. Jussie Smollett's going back to jail. That's right. I'm not going to bear the lead. Jussie Smollett has lost his appeal and he's going back to prison where he rightfully should be. Have you hit the like button already? This story is absolutely amazing. And for one of the few times out there I have faith in our legal system, I thought for sure that he was going to get away with this. Didn't you? Had all the Hollywood money, all this kind of stuff. Nope. He appealed. I thought he was never going to go back to jail. But he is. He's going to prison, everybody. And I couldn't be happier. Let's take a look at the details. By the way, today is the last day for the Coffee Brand Coffee Cyber Sale. We have stuff up to 50% off. You go to our homepage, it's right here, Cyber Week, up to 50% off. Also, if you're looking, some of the stuff is selling out, but we've got some of our flavors 50% off, 30% off. Make sure you stock up today. Then also, it's December 1st. I'm going to remind you that we sell out every December by like the 10th or 11th day of our holiday gift boxes. We have 2 different pre-made options, as well as the option to completely custom make your own gift box with hot cocos, teas, over 30 different coffee flavors, whole bean, ground, snacks, premium snacks. It's the perfect gift. You can find the perfect gift box for anyone in your family. CoffeeBrandCoffee.com. Link in the description below. Just in, hoaxer Jussie Smollett has lost his appeal and is going back to jail after an appeals court affirmed his disorderly conduct conviction. Good, keep him there. Back in December of 2021, Smollett was found guilty of 5 felony counts that he faked a hate crime to make Trump supporters look bad. Here's Smollett whining back in March 2022 after he was sentenced. Now, let me be very clear of just how evil Smollett was. He took one of the most kind of racially divisive times in the recent history and thought to himself, this is a great opportunity for me to advance my career. That's what he wanted. He set up a scenario with 2 other black men who were his physical trainers or something, or they were on the show Empire with him, wrote a script, referred to downtown Chicago as mega country, his alleged interactors, took a rope, formed a noose, put it around himself, wore it until the police arrived, never bothered taking it off, concocted one of the most insane stories that even the black community was immediately making fun of him. Dave Chappelle put a whole bit in his stand-up about Jussie Smollett, the French actor. Nobody, and I'm not saying I'm just saying nobody backed him, right? Are there racist people out there? Yes. And by the way, of all kinds, I reject this BS that people say, oh, only white people can be racist. BS. I've met racist black people. I've met racist Asian people. Okay, they exist. All right. But here's him having a melty.
Suicidal.
Oh yeah.
I am not suicidal.
Why does he say that?
And I'm not suicidal.
Why is he screaming that? He's like, I'm not gonna end myself. I'm not gonna end myself.
Jail time. I am not suicidal.
I mean, by the way, at no point, that's something that only Jussie Smollett gets to do. Otherwise, most people be held in contempt and get extra charges added. Here's the New York Times article. Court rejects Jussie Smollett's appeal of hoax case conviction. An appellate court in Illinois upheld the actor's conviction on charges of filing false police reports claiming that he was a subject of not only race-related attacks, but attacks based on his orientation. An appellate court in Illinois on Friday rejected Jussie Smollett's challenge of his conviction on charges of filing false police report. Mr. Smollett was sentenced to 5 months in jail last year, but only served 6 days of the term before he was released on appeal. Now, he spent most of those days, from what I remember, in like solitary confinement or medical, watch for like self-harm or something like that. Lawyers for the actor, who had starred in the music industry drama Empire, when he first reported that he had been the victim of this crime, argued that Mr. Smollett had been unjustly punished for the same crime twice when a special prosecutor revived the case against him. Well, you know why? Is because, at least in my opinion, the woman that the prosecutor or whatever, the district attorney, was it Kim Fox, I think? I'm pretty sure there's some, like, Michelle Obama called her, and then suddenly the charges were dropped. Massive corruption in Chicago. Really, in every city. So they got these, somebody called in a favor, got these charges dismissed, only to then have somebody who is not corrupt take a look at it and actually convict him. The appellate court was not persuaded. Justice David R. Navarro wrote in the opinion, quote, "The state was not barred from re-prosecuting Smollett. No jury had been impaneled, no witnesses had been sworn in, no evidence had been introduced, and Smollett had pled not guilty," Justice Navarro wrote. "Because of these actions occurred in jeopardy, did not attach to Smollett's first criminal prosecution." A lawyer for Mr. Smollett, Nenye Uche, who did not immediately respond to requests for comments on whether or not he planned to appeal the case further, the special prosecutor in charge for the case, Dan K. Webb, said on Friday that the appeal was a resounding victory for the prosecution. He said that based on Illinois law, Mr. Smollett would not be required to report jail immediately. His lawyers will have a chance to appeal further to the Illinois Supreme Court. But if any court does not take up the case, Mr. Smollett will not have any more avenues. Since he reported the incident, Mr. Smollett claimed 2 men had mildly injured him while yelling all sorts of slurs at him, even though he had orchestrated everything in an effort to make more money. That's quite frankly why he did it. He wanted to get more clout in Hollywood. He wanted to earn more money. He wanted more people to know his name. He wanted to negotiate. There was even this mysterious letter with mysterious powder in it that suddenly appeared on the set, and it was crudely drawn. I don't even remember what. It was some racist thing that he probably also sent. The case was a political tinderbox in Chicago where the state's attorney general initially prosecuted Mr. Smollett, then dropped the charges against him in that same month. Kim Fox, the Cook County state's attorney, had separated herself from the investigation and appointed a deputy, Joseph Magatz, to oversee the case. The appointment was criticized by a judge who ordered the appointment of a special prosecutor to take over the case. The special prosecutor, Mr. Webb, opened a new case against Smollett a year later. At trial, the prosecution's star witnesses were the 2 brothers who testified that Mr. Smollett had asked them to carry out the incident, instructed them in great detail how to carry it out, and he also paid them, I believe, $5,000 each. Mr. Uche argued in his appeal of the case that the prosecution never should have been reopened because at the time, the state prosecutors dropped the initial charges. Mr. Smollett, that's how Bill Cosby got off, basically. It's all this corruption. It's just so incredibly annoying. Mr. Smollett forfeited a $10,000 bond and performed community service, effectively a punishment for the crime that he could not receive another punishment. That's what they were arguing. Tough. Basically, what happened was they had a situation where they knew that they had a corrupt prosecutor. They knew that Jussie Smollett had special favors done so that he could get away with all this crap. The court also rejected complaints against the severity of Mr. Smollett's sentence, which in addition to jail time includes a $25,000 fine and more than $120,000 that Chicago Police Department said it spent on overtime costs. So now he's going to get jail time and have to pay $150K in fines. One justice on the panel dissented, finding that prosecutors' dismissal of the initial case was formal enough to hear or to bar further prosecution, but it wasn't enough. Obviously, also, Mr. Smollett, who was fired from Empire after police accused him of staging it, has been in limbo for more than a year. By the way, he could have been out by now. He could have been out by now. Nope. Now he's going back in. What a great victory on a Friday. If you haven't yet, make sure you leave a like on this video. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.